and all of those wonderful things. So good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is, no pun intended, it is about that time. And I'm excited to share with you another passion thing that I love to buy. Don't buy them often, but I do like to buy nice timepieces. So if you want to hear my thoughts and comparisons between the Rolex and the Cartier, then stay tuned. We're going to talk about it right now in this video. I'm going to keep the comparisons, basically I consider like apples to apples. So I'm going to share with you the Rolex 36 Datejust, and I'm going to share with you the 38 BALLON BLEU of Cartier. So I consider them to be like apples to apples. So if you're on the fence and you trying to figure out which one you like and you know which one you want to buy first, if you're looking to buy both, then I'm hoping this information may be a little bit helpful for you. So without further delay, I'm going to get started with you and share with you a little bit of history. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to start with the, let's do alphabetical order. And then so this is the stainless steel solid color stainless all the way around with the blue sapphire dial that you can see there, and it's the one with sort of like the white light silver facing. So here's the thing, this particular watch came out in 2007, and it came out as a 14 karat gold first, and then around like 2009 they added the stainless steel version, and then as the years grew, then I think like in 2012 they added like the leather strap, and then 2017 and 19 then they added like the diamonds and changing the dials and sort of like being like similar to like Rolex a little bit. So basically they gave you a lot more options than they initially did when the watch first came out. So I consider this like more like the classic of the BALLON BLEU. It comes in sizes, let me see, I think it comes like in 4 different sizes. It comes in a 28, 36, I'm sorry, a 28, a 33, a 38, and a 42. The 42 is really, really large. I love large watches. Trust me, I did look at that one. I'm like, okay, that's like over the top large. It's water resistant, although I have never, I'm too afraid to even attempt to wearing any of my fine watches in water. So I'm going to tell you that they say they're water resistant, but I'm not speaking from experience. But generally the strap itself, you can get it in the two-tone polish and satin, or you can get it in, I think you can get it in all of the polish. So those are the two different variations for the band itself. And then, like I said, over the years, they've added the opportunity for you to actually get the same size in a strap if you like, which is very beautiful, as you can see from the picture, by adding a leather strap. And price point for this particular size is, I want to say it's $6,100. I will try it on for you now just so you can see what this particular size looks like on me. So that is the size on me. You can see it. I'll sort of back up. I keep mine a little loose. You can have your preference. I probably could take out another link at this point, but I actually kind of like having a movement, especially if I'm layering it with bracelets. And so that's basically how I wear it. So I'll stand up. So that kind of gives you an idea. Okay, and then I'll keep it on for the sake of this. And then it comes, like I said, it comes in a couple different variations between the stainless steel in gold, now with the rose gold, the leather strap. So they've done a really nice job, and over the years, like I said, they've added the opportunity for you to put diamonds on your dials. But like I said, it's going up into a whole nother level of a price point. So I think between the two different brands, you can't go wrong. I love them both, so it's going to be hard for me to say which one to go with, but I love them a lot. It's like, you know, they're similar, but then they're not similar, so you kind of got to go with your instinct when you definitely try them on, and go with your whatever gives you that big smile, as I always say, then that's the one that you want to go with. So that's why I always recommend to try it on, because that smile is going to say it all. If you want to do another comparison, would be the Pasha de Cartier. Everybody calls it just Billy the Pasha. And Pasha was out before the Ballon BLEU. I'm a big fan of the Pashas also. So if you don't really like the flatness, so that will be the difference from the Rolex I'm going to show you in a minute. So the Cartier is definitely more streamlined and more smooth and more sleek. And not as chunky as the Rolex and as the Pasha from Cartier. So if you want Cartier, but you want a little bit more of a oomph, like a chunkiness and a little bit more of a higher thickness, then you probably want to consider the Pasha watch. Pasha has been out for a long time. Comes in different sizes as well. Comes with the leather strap. It comes with the metal strap. Oh, another good feature is, so when you put it on, like it's an invisible strap. So it just goes all the way around. You can't really tell where it ends and where it stops. So which is a really nice feature. So, you know, if you're moving your arm around and all that kind of good stuff, you actually don't see the clasp where it stops, which is a really nice feature, especially if you're wearing it with like bracelets and things like that. So some people say, because like the Apple watches and things like that, that they really may not wear a lot of the fine timepieces anymore, but that's not the case for me, because I consider this to be more like a piece of art and a piece of jewelry, and it just makes me feel like I'm completing my outfit. So that's how I look as the fine timepieces. Anyway, so if you're like me and you love the timepieces and just wearing nice big chunky watches, I'm now going to transition to the next one. Okay, so now we just talked about the Ballon BLEU. Now I'm going to open up the Rolex and I'm going to show you the Rolex one. And this particular Rolex I've had it longer than that. So I don't know, this watch may be about 8-9 years old. So I do keep it in its original casing as well. Jubilee band. And I do have a diamond dial and diamond bezel, and the face is what they call like the rose. So it's like that pinky color, pink shrimpy color. And so, and it is the stainless steel all the way around. I'm going to put it on for you. So I'm going to point out too also the bracelet or the Jubilee. So it does go all the way around. You can't tell where it ends and where it stops. If you are buying a pre-owned watch, I'm gonna say that's probably one thing you're gonna notice between the two different models. Like they changed the model for the Datejust. I think it was like around like 2005 or 2006 and something like that. So if you are buying pre-owned, the question you want to ask them, the year of course, and then you want to ask them, is it the new generation or the old generation? And so the watchmakers are going to know what you're talking about, because the two main differences are, you're going to tell the back of the clasp, because there's a big plain silver like buckle there. You're going to notice when it's the older generation. And then the other thing from the oldest generation is, although they consider it the exact same size, to the naked eye, nobody's going to know what generation is. But the other thing is, if that does make a difference for you and you really want to know, the other thing is the casing is going to be a tinge smaller on the older generation compared to the new. So if you had them side by side and had them in two different hands, you're going to know the difference, because the newer generation is going to be a tad bit heavier than the older generation. You're going to notice the buckle on the back on the older generation, and then it's going to seem a tad bit smaller if you had them side by side. But if you had them on your arm, nobody would know really what year the watches were. So kind of go with, once again, where you want to be price point wise and what is going to make a difference for you when you put it on. So if I'm comparing apples to apples between this one and this one, as you can see, they're very similar. And as I stand up, I kind of wear them, like I said, it falls like right below my wrist bone there. And in that way, you know, if I am wearing like a coat or shirt or something like that, it still sticks below, right below my jacket or my blouse or something like that. And it feels really comfortable. So this one is automatic movement. So basically meaning, as I'm wearing it, it's winding itself, right? So you can see the I don't know if you can see the second hand, so let's see if you could see that, if you could see it moving, right? So it's moving because it's on my wrist. As soon as I take it off, in about 24 hours, if I don't put the watch back on, then the time is going to start to like slowly stop working. So if you're putting it on every day, then you won't have to worry about keep changing the time, because it will keep going for another 24 hours as soon as you take it off. If it goes over 24 hours, then you're going to have to just reset the time. It's no big deal. And that's why, if you ever notice, sometimes you'll see like in stores where they sell like Rolexes and things like that, that they're selling the watch winders. I never actually had one of those because I know realistically they're very nice looking. Number one, I don't have the space to like store those things. And then realistically, for me to take it off, put it on that watch winder thing, and then take it off and put it on every time, I'm not going to do that. So I have not bought them, but I think they're the coolest thing when I see the watch winders. But I know realistically I'm not going to do that. I just take the extra 10 seconds that it does just to change the time, and that's basically it. So that is one of the differences between the Cartier and the Rolex. Just like the Cartier, the Rolex comes, I will say that actually the Rolex comes in many more combinations than the Cartier BALLON BLEU. So much so, actually, you could go to Rolex's website, and if you key in, like, start with the watch that you want first, it's actually going to allow you to select all the different things that you want, sort of like create your own watch and how you would want it, you know, create it as your wish list item, how you would want it. And then it'll tell you right then, once you select all the different things you want, then it's going to tell you how much it is. The first thing it's going to ask you is, you know, what model are you choosing? You're going to choose that. Then it's going to ask you what size. You're going to choose that. Then it's going to ask you, what type of bezel do you want. So bezel, so meaning, now this one happens to be a diamond bezel, but most of the time it comes in a what they call like the fluted, which is like the little tiny like ridges. I'll insert the picture here. So that's what they call the fluted. And then the other one, when it's really smooth all the way around the bezel, they call that dome. So it's going to ask you, okay, which one do you want? Next, okay, what type of bracelet do you want? This one is the Jubilee. It has the Jubilee, it has the Oyster, which is like more of like the smooth, more of like, I call it definitely more like a chunkier look. So that's the Oyster. And then it's gonna, or you can select leather, but you can select whatever the kind of strap that you want. So that's what's going to ask you next. And then it's going to ask you what type of dial do you want. So I already said this is like the shrimp. So, you know, you'll be able to pick whether you want what color that you want. And then if you want Roman numerals, you want diamonds, or you can actually get the like the little straight lines. I don't know what the official name is. This particular model came out in 1945, so it has been out for a long time. So this Datejust is a super classic that you can never go wrong with. Like, consider them to be a dress up, dress down, no matter what you're wearing. I have on today, I just have on a hoodie, I have on my little leather jogger pants, and I actually wore this one today. And that's basically it. And I had on my little motorcycle combat boots, and that was my outfit for the day. So I absolutely love it, and I just feel like it just completes me when I put it on. What else would I say about the Rolex comparison to two? Once again, they also say this one is water resistant. Rolex has always been known for that, though. Again, I have not tested that theory on this one either, so I can't tell you. I'm just telling you what people say, and I'm just telling you what the website says. So what else would I say about Rolex? Let me see, what else did I rate that I just wanted to share with you guys? I didn't give you the price. Okay. So without the diamonds, if you're doing apples to apples, without any diamonds, this one is 61 brand new. This one is 85 brand new. If you are on the fence and you're really torn about which one to get first, but your goal is, you know, you're going to get both. You're going to keep them both on your wish list, but you have to get one first, right? You got to start someplace. Where would I start? I don't know. I would start. Okay. I'm going to start where I started first. My first fine timepiece was a Rolex. Okay, here's another good reason why you're going with these fine timepieces. It's because the investment definitely stays there. The first one that I have, I no longer have. I actually traded it in to when I got this one. I upgraded, but I upgraded to the exact same look, exact same combination. Right now, for whatever reason, certain ones are really hard to find right now. It's like Rolex has been so popular. It's always been popular, but for the last like 2 years, they say it's like crazy popular. Like certain watches, like it's taken a while to get them in, or there's like a waiting list for them. But just wait and get the one that you really, really want would be my suggestion. They could always like find the right color that you want or combination from other stores and you know, and transfer them in. That's fine. I will say this though, just to kind of pre-warn you about this too. Like say for instance, you go to your local authorized dealer for Rolex and you already know from the website what make, model, color combination that you want. You already know it, but you go in there and they don't have it in stock. It's got to come from across the country from another store. They'll definitely transfer it in for you, and I want to say don't be surprised if they charge you to do that. I think it's like 20% that they'll ask you to put down, and it's returnable, but I think they'll ask you for like 20% down to transfer the watch into their particular store. If they don't ask for it, that's great. But if they do ask for it, don't be like, what? Because when someone asked me this, I was like, what? I don't know what Cartier's, I don't know what their policy is. Like if you go there and you don't see the watch, but they have to transfer it in from another store or something. I don't know what their policy is about transferring from another store. I'm loving these right now and don't think twice and recommending either one of them to you if it's something that's in your price point that you're looking to do already. I just wanted to create the video for you just to share with you something else that I love. If I was to start where I would start, if you had to start someplace you couldn't decide where, we got to make a choice, right? And sometimes I do that when I'm in a store. If I can't decide on something, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So anyway, so let me know if there is something else that I can answer. Please let me know below. And if you have a favorite and if you have both and you feel different about recommending on where to start, definitely give your feedback in your comments below, because I'm sure whoever's on the fence right now, they'll probably need all the information and honest feedback from us to help them make that decision. And at the end of the day, you're going to do what's right for you and what feels good to you. And once again, as I always say, what's actually going to put that smile on your face. So that's what I always say. I'm just hoping that this video actually helps you to decide something. But at the end of the day, pick whatever, and I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart, pick what gives you the biggest smile when you put it on. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what size it is. I don't care what color it is. It might not even be either one of these models. You may get to the store thinking, oh, and that has happened to me before too. Shoot, I came in for this, but I like this so much better. Definitely venture out. Definitely try other styles when you get to the Rolex store and to the Cartier store. Like I said, you may get to the Cartier store and you may like the Pasha, or you may like the Santos, or you may like the Panther. Can you tell, like, I'm excited. I'm excited talking about it with you guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now before you leave me today. I really appreciate it. Thumbs up and comments are always appreciative. I really do. Can I say I always really appreciate the comments, and I hope you realize too, because I like to respond to everyone if I can, and I'm just so appreciative because it really does. Sometimes it's like the right comment at the right time. So I always like to take the time to let you know I appreciate your comments too. So I think you guys have a wonderful, 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 fantastic day. I love you much. Take care, and I'll definitely be seeing you guys soon. See ya.